Hi there, Eric Bakker, naturopath. Here's another frequently asked question. This is one I hear from time to time. Is a yeast infection related to chronic fatigue syndrome? I don't believe that chronic fatigue syndrome causes a yeast infection as such, but I certainly see there can be a relationship between them both, and I have seen many chronic fatigue syndrome patients with Candida overgrowth. And one of the main reasons this will occur is due to the immune system being compromised. When you have chronic fatigue syndrome, there are multiple causative factors and many different underlying issues which will challenge your body. But your immune system is often very much compromised. You'll have poor adrenal health, low cortisol levels, thyroid could be involved. Cortisol production may not be sufficient enough to stimulate immunity, which can increase your susceptibility and significantly drop your resistance to Candida and as well as SIBO or small intestinal bowel overgrowth. So many people with chronic fatigue syndrome have multiple food allergies, leaky gut syndrome, many different digestive issues. And as their digestive function becomes increasingly compromised, they become much more susceptible to Candida yeast infection. So a big part of my treatment with chronic fatigue syndrome is assessing adrenal function and improving this significantly. So I would recommend any patient with chronic fatigue syndrome to do Dr. Wilson's adrenal fatigue questionnaire. You can read more about Dr. Wilson's work on adrenalfatigue.org and also to have a look at my yeast infection online survey on yeastinfection.org, which will give you some idea if you believe you have a yeast infection if you've got chronic fatigue syndrome. But there certainly is some correlation between both these conditions. One of the better ways in my mind of improving chronic fatigue syndrome is by working on the digestive health considerably, as well as lifestyle factors. It is possible to turn chronic fatigue syndrome around, and you can see one of my successes if you go to Adrenal, I think it's Adrenal NZ. Adrenal NZ is the YouTube clip. If you type that into YouTube, you can see one of my first patients there from New Zealand that I treated on Dr. Wilson's program, a lady who had chronic fatigue syndrome for many years, who's fully recovered now. So I hope that answers your question in a long-winded way. Thank you.